Greetings everybody, we are back here with the Pokemon Regional in Prague Day 2. That's the part 1 of 2. We're gonna cover this time the last Swiss round 13 top cut, and then we go to the top 8. If you haven't seen the Day 2 videos, I'm gonna link them in the info card and the description if you want to check it out. Now let's have a look at the decks of Day 2. So of course we see a lot of Dragapult, 31% at all with different builds. We got the chicken pult, we got the straight pult, but we also got that Crustle and Festival lead here up. And before we go to the conversion rate, let's see the best of the rest. We also have Garchomp, we have Pultnor, we have different other like Alakazam, Zorak and Lucario falling a little bit off in the final, in the phase 2 here. So let's check out the conversion rates actually, because they are very interesting. As you can see, Crustle, for example, 20 out of 43 decks, which means a conversion rate of 47%. Same with the Festivality, a crazy conversion rate for the little apple here. And also we have 28% for Dragapult. Let's check our first match. So we don't see too crazy price cuts here. Maybe the 2 Darkness Energy might be a little bit problematic for the Monkey Dory. So we got the Garchomp with Neddy Korsak playing here, and Lorenzo Zanki playing that Mega Starmie deck, bringing down that Pokepad and filling up that board with some more things. Also we see the Risky Runes and the Monkey Dory putting on some damage due to the Risky Runes and that Legacy, and there's the pass by Lorenzo. So Neddy kicking things off with that Buddy Puffin, bringing down 1 Roselia, 1 Gibble here to develop a little bit more, and then we see the Fighting Gong grabbing another Gibble here, developing that ball nice and white here. Now after shuffling, Neddy plays one Pokegi here, looking for another supporter, which brings that Lily's Determination. Now we see 1 attachment of Energy and 1 attachment of that Power Weight, Cynthia's Power Weight, boosting your HP by 70. And now playing now that Lily, absolute wonderful. That's how you want to start in the game, having an already very nice developed board state here, and then just grab 8 new cards and bringing another Gibble here. Let's keep an eye on those 20, because with the attack of Starmie here, as long as you can't. So Lorenzo going here with a quick turn, sending that damage to your opponent, and just goes for the straight knockout of 2 Roselia. Now on Neddy's side, we will see that Cascade here. You bring Gabite to play, get another one, get another Gabite, get another Cynthia's Pokemon, whatever you need. And now he's going for that Pokepad, grabbing that Gibble, but still not benching it, since we still have that Risky Runes that brings all of your Pokemon with 70 or below in that range of that Mega Starmie. Back to Lorenzo here. See, little bit development, getting that monkey down, pushing more damage to your opponent, setting everything up very nicely for a nice multi-price knockout here, and knocking out those 2 Gabites here and minimizing that board state. Jumping a little bit ahead, you can see Neddy just played 1 Premium Pro and that ace-spec of choice, the Unfast Stamp, to disrupt your opponent, and now actually with 2 energies attached, he's actually in range to knock out that Mega Starmie, because that 1 HP is absolutely perfect here. Yeah, goes for the knockout here. And Lorenzo promoting that Staryu. So yeah, you can see he bring down that Meowth. With that Meowth, he grabbed that Hilda. With that Hilda, that Mega Starmie and 1 energy to get his Staryu ready. And that Gibble had to be played, but 20 there and then 50 on it. That's gone. I really like how fast Lorenzo's actually acting here. Like, he's just bringing little fast turns, not too much. I like the Starmie deck, the Mega Starmie deck. It's pretty straightforward, and it can be a very fast, a very nice turbo deck you can play in the current meta right now. Yes, so Neddy now takes the knockout on that Mega Starmie here. But the game is pretty tight now because it's almost done. You get the Hilda, Mega Frostless, and there's an energy. GG. That's game for Lorenzo here. As I said, I really like this Mega Starmie deck. It's fast, it's straightforward. Not too much BS. Let's see the price cut. So we have lilies on both sides, but the concerning thing here is on Neddy's side that unfair stamp. But if you have a start like that with 2 buddy Puffins, you are still feeling well. You don't see that pink card right now, but you think with those 2 buddy Puffins coming straight down, you can put a bunch of Pokemon onto your board. But Neddy still not done, bringing 2 fighting gongs for 1 energy and what's the other card? Another energy. I can't see it right now, but grabbing some energies here, or maybe Gibble to get more on your board. Yes, there's the 3rd Gibble here. First turn, perfect start. I think you can say that. So unfortunately, there's not too much going on, bringing down that risky runes. It really worked out very, very well last turn, and that PokéWrap for another Monkey Dory. And then it's over to Neddy again. Not a very strong turn right now, just a little development here on Lorenzo's side. So Neddy plays that Larry Skill, actually, a card I haven't seen that much, and grabbing 1 Gabite with it. And now we see that whole cascade coming down here. And actually takes the knockout on that active Staryu with the Gabite, since you have 1 rose rate on the field, the damage output gets higher, and the Staryu is actually in reach here. And Lorenzo actually does have, he has no out, so that's the concession on Lorenzo's side. So now we have the 1-1. Lovely how Neddy could come back in this game. That's what we want to see, right? And that brings us to a game 3. Yes, 1-1. Actually, it took a little while. I think almost 3 minutes of shuffling. First, the price cuts. We see that Legacy Energy. We see Monkey Staryu, but on Neddy's side, not too crazy. Actually, Lorenzo draw into some mulligans. I couldn't see how many it was, but I saw there were a few, 1, 2 maybe. And bringing down immediately that risky runes here to put pressure on the Pokemon of Neddy and having more ammunition to throw at your opponent's Pokemon. So the Buddy Puffin bring 2 Staryu on Lorenzo's bench, but unfortunately no Dark Energy, so no Adrenabrain here. Now heading over to Neddy, also playing a Buddy Puffin, bringing 2 of the same card. This time it is the Gibble here. So bringing down another Roselia, and don't forget the 20 on it. And now bringing 1 Fighting Gong for another Gibble here. And he played that Premium Power Pro before he played that Larry Skill. Again, it grabs you 1 energy, 1 Pokemon, and 1 supporter card here. Here we have the Gabite, 1 fighting energy. So back to Lorenzo. Let's see what he has to offer right now. And since the hand didn't look quite nice, that's why we bring that Lily's Determination here. And now we are getting somewhere with that. Those Buddy Puffins here, bringing 2 Snoruns here. And you can see we have that Mega Starmie already there, evolved. So this one is ready to swing. But we won't see it swinging right now since Lorenzo can't retreat the Munkidori. And now we see the Cascade. You see Neddy's board is developing, and he evolved all of them. Back to Lorenzo. Also no swinging on Neddy's side here, but his board looks great. So Lorenzo grabbing that Ultra Ball and grabbing with that Ultra Ball that Meowth, looking for the energies he needs, and with that Meowth he gonna grab that Crispin. So he plays the Meowth. Don't forget the 20. Get the Crispin, get the energy on the Munkidori, get the energy on hand for your Starmie. And let's see. And now we see the retreat. Of course, before that we had the Adrenabrain. So now we see the Jetting Blow, knocking out that Roserade and that poor little Roselia back on the bench. As you can see, the whole thing with the Gabite again. We see the Garchomps entering the field. We see an Unfair Stamp coming here. Now actually, Neddy retreated from his Garchomp into his Gabite to prepare the Mega Starmie with a little bit damage to get in reach, because now he would make 290 to 290, 320 with another additional Premium Power Pro here. And also Neddy probably anticipating that the Frostless is coming down and bringing more damage to the board. And Lorenzo knocking out that Gabite in the active and targeting that charged Garchomp here. Yes, promoting, same. And now we can actually see the preparation was perfect on this one here, and knocking out that Mega Starmie now. And since this time there was no Legacy Energy, that's straight free prizes here. So nothing really happened on Lorenzo's side, while Neddy playing with Rock Pokemon. Lorenzo has to fight with a big fat brick there. So let's see. Of course, the problem with the Garchomp here is of the charging, the energies, but right now you only have that single star. You again that Larry skill to minimize your hand against those Mega Frostlets. Unfortunately, there was not much to save here. Coming with that Roserade, and then we see, what's that? Yeah. All in all, it's a boss order for game on Neddy's side. Very nice sweep from the 1-0-1 to 2-1. Lovely. Let's have the next game here. top cut, and we see Dragapult against Grimmsnarl here, but nothing too crazy again. Maybe the boss and 2 Pokepads on Niklas' side here could be annoying.
And let's go. There's the fist bump, and let's go. Mateusz will kick things off here and starting immediately with a buddy puffin, bringing 2 Dreepy and that Pokepad for a Drag Cloak, just in case there will be some Badoo shenanigans. And just like Mateusz did, Niklas here bringing that buddy puffin, bringing that Badoo, and I forgot the name of that little devilish thing here. And now we see 2 buddy puffins paid nice, very well. And bringing that Tatsugiri here into active, playing that attract customer ability and grabbing a petrol here. And with that petrol, grabbing a Pokepad, grabbing a Frostless, just in case again, if there will be some shenanigans over to Mateusz. Mateusz playing that Ultra Ball to grab another Dracloak. 2 Dracloaks already on the field here, 1 already charged. I think that's a pretty nice start. Another one charged with, and then we see the Lily's Determination. And now Mateusz going for that Dunsparce. We saw that in the first game with Ryuko against Raz Volpe. We saw there were some recon directives been done, and now all the recon directives are done, and more Dreepy, 1 more Dunsparce, and over to Niklas here. So Niklas bringing that Lily's Determination again, getting 8 new cards as long you haven't took any price card attachment to the Evital here. And first the attract customers, yes. Let's see if there are, no, there's nothing. So bringing up that Evital and having a little deck check before, and then going for that clutch play, but not before having a little, what's the devil's name or whatever, Impidimp. Yes, Impidimp. Ah yes, now I got it. The Impidimp, we see the Frostless coming onto the board, bringing more damage to all the Pokemon with abilities here, and that Monkey Dory now clutched in the active and even hitting for weakness here. Mateusz played that Crispin, grabbing a Fire and Psychic Energy and attach 1, no, changing the mind, going 1 goes to the Dreepy, another 1 goes of course to the Monkey Dory, and eventually will throw some damage at your opponent's Pokemon here. Now we see the recon directives. Back to Niklas here. Let's see what he can offer. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Monkey Dory right now, so for him it'll be a little bit harder to throw all that damage to your opponent's Pokemon, but that monkey will probably go down. Playing that Spike move, grabbing 1 Grimmsnarl here, and playing that Rare Candy, evolve it, and attach 3 energies, no, 2 energies, no, there are 3 energies, I guess. So yeah, now this one is charged right now, And let's see what else. No, goes for the knockout. Well, not for the knockout. The Frostless actually gives the knockout here, since the ability puts another 10. We had 50 on that Monkey Dory, plus 10 makes 50, makes a knockout, and we see that Dragapult now. And Mateusz here bossing the Mani's Grimmsnarl, forcing it in the active, and put some damage counter on it. Put 3 on more Grim, and another 3 will probably, no, all of it goes to the Morgrim here. Yes, 200 to the Grimmsnarl. On the Morgrim, I think there should be only 6. No, actually put all 6 on that. Yes, so it survives with 10 HP actually. And we can see he now evolved the second Grimmsnarl, getting ready for action as well. And now bossing that Monkey Dory into the active here, because that can become a huge nuisance, and putting the 30 damage on that Dracloak, taking a price card here, and let's see how things work out. So here's an inclusion I really like to see. The Heroes Dragapult, not something very common, but I love to see, especially in a meta where we don't have that nice tools. I think the Heroes Cape is actually such a great card right now. So now Mateusz going here for a very heads up play, not going for that Phantom Dive. Could activate the flip the script ability of Fest, but since he doesn't have a monkey, there is no way to put damage away from that, so this Grimmsnarl will go down at the poke check. Now having that Lily's Determination, and after that we start swinging in that Dragapult, and as I said earlier, it goes down now. Mateusz taking care that everything is provided properly, and then we see that was even too fast for me. I think there was a boss or something, and that's the game 1 for Mateusz here. Okay, let's go to game 2 actually. Here we see the prize cards, nothing too crazy. Of course the Night Stretcher or Rare Candy might be a little bit annoying, but at all pretty decent cards you can work around here. Niklas starting things off with that Impidimp, and then with that Spike Move Gym, grabbing some cards, also deck checking. So 2 Impidimp going down, and we see another Pokepad for a Monkey Dory. Pokepad also on Mateusz's side for that Dreepy and attachment, and then we see the Lily's Determination coming down. We see one more Buddy Puffin has been played for 2 Dreepy, going now to Niklas, evolving that Impidimp to Morgrim, whiffing that Buddy Puffin, and then playing the Lily's Determination. Back to Mateusz. He has that Pokepad to grab another Drag. Oh no, there is the first Dracloak, there's another one in hand I can see, and first going for the evolution and immediately Recon directs into it. Now you can see all the Dracloaks has been placed, and we have that the Dunsparce to draw 3 new cards here, and this goes back in the deck, bringing that little repeat in the active like a sacrificial lamp here, and another buddy puffin, just bringing down that Dunsparce. Yes. And one more Monkey Dory to be a little bit more annoying, and then playing that Lily's Determination. 8 fresh cards here. We're going back to Niklas, immediately targeting that Monkey Dory. Don't want that any damage will be spread around, and evolving another Grimmsnarl here. Again, I skipped the whole recon directives. The Dunsparce was evolved into the Dunsparce, and that was played. So now we see another attack into that Monkey Dory, spreading nice 20-20-20, so you can't use that Adrenabrain to the full extent. Back to Niklas, swinging into that Dragapult, putting 30 damage on that Dracloak and knocking it actually out with the Adrenabrain. That was actually enough. Little math check here, perfect. And now let's check it, everything is fine, seems good. Okay, back to Mateusz. And a new Monkey Dory grabbed by a Ultra Ball, having little deck check with the Spike Morph, why not? Even though you don't have anything in your deck, sometimes it's just nice to have a little additional look in your deck here. Going for the recon directive. There we see, it seems like there is a Dracloak. No, goes for okay, I see that was the finning here. So Poképet and Dracloak were the options, and with the Poképot he grabbed that Dracloak. And Mateusz again going with that Heroes Dragapult here. I actually love this inclusion. I think this could really become a thing. And just as Niklas tried to eradicate all those Monkey Dories, same here on the other side. Niklas knocking out the Monkey Dories of Mateusz. Mateusz knocking out the Monkey Dories of Niklas. The back and forth. What the monkeys actually knocking out 2 monkeys, which reduces the nuisance. So Niklas just whiffed a Poképet with that Petrel, grabbing that Unfair Stamp. Disrupt your opponent a little bit. Especially now I see the 240 is actually manageable with 2 Monkey Dory Adrenabrain and the attack by Mani's Grimmsnarl. So very heads up by Mateusz here, knocking out the monkeys. And Niklas just swinged into that Dragapult here. 60 left. Now we see that the Dunsparce coming down, drawing more and more cards. You know, drawing cards is always a nice thing in every TCG. I think that's a general rule in all of them. Doesn't matter if you play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, or in this case Pokemon. Drawing cards is just a nice thing. And you can see Mateusz here really thinking hard how to close this game. It's a lot of math, it's a lot of damage counter, and just want to make sure everything's right. Of course, the Frostless also puts some damage counter, which you have to put in your consideration here. And now back to Niklas. Yeah. A little bit tidying up all the dices here. Yeah, if you have those high attack, high HP Pokemon, you are gathering so much damage count sometimes. Especially if you're always pivoting out, you have to look that everything looks good and clean to keep a nice overview. So Niklas actually here is in a very dire position. So the Monkey Dory is damaged, the Grimmsnarl is on the edge of or is the verge of knockout here. Let's see what the Petrel brings. And there is the handshake. Yes. Niklas checked his cards and saw there was no way. So yeah, very nice play by Mateusz here. Oh boy, the last game of this video, and it's Crustle against Dragapult, and we see Todd against Elmer. I think if you're watching regionals sometimes you should be familiar with Todd. Reclef here, if you are not familiar with that Crustle deck here, so we have that Dwebble. First we start with the Buddy Puffin. So the Dwebble evolves into a Crustle, and the Crustle is immune to all damage by EX Pokemon. So all your heavy hitters here are actually useless. You want to, with Dragapult, useless. You want to go with, I don't know, Raging Bolt, Kangaskhan, Mega Lucario, whatsoever, name it all. There's no way. So yeah, Crustle is, yeah, it can be nasty, but I also had my time to play a little bit. I think if you want to play, you need to play with control decks just to know better how to play around those nasty decks. Yes, they can be nasty. At least Crustle attacks. That's a good thing. The Wincon is still attacking, but I think this is at least a control that deck kind of makes fun. Oh, don't hate me for that, please. So nothing too crazy on Emma's side here. Todd, of course, know how things go and brings that Monkey Dory, switches, and he doesn't play it. He goes straight for the knockout of that pesky little Dwebble. So yeah, now we see the Hilda here grabbing probably the Crustle here and a special energy. I saw another game of Elmer, and I know there are like all kinds of energy in that deck. It's crazy. Like, you're gonna see them all by one. Let's see what he got. Oh yeah, so he got with the Hero Crustle, and there is a, what was it? I think it was the Mist Energy, or was the Spike Energy? Couldn't see it. No, it was the Mist Energy, and that's the pass. And you see Todd develops his board more and more with the 3-piece, because he knows, or I guess he knows pretty well, that with that Dragapult he can't do much, so he tries to establish all his Dracloaks here and try to swing in them with them. There are now 70 damage on that Crustle made by that Dracloak, and now you can see that whole rainbow of different energies. We have a grass energy, we have that mist energy, We have that spiky energy to bring more damage, and of course that hero's cape. And that jumbo ice cream healing the crustle off. And then after that we see that force of vitality and then swing into it. Let's jump ahead a little bit because there is actually nothing too crazy going on, and you see Elmer played that Petrel and drawing cards with that factory. We see the rainbow of energies getting even bigger and bigger. Now we have a second spiky energy, we have that growing energy adding 20 HP to that crustle, which brings it now to a, and there is the next mist energy, which brings the Pokemon now to 270 in total. And now going for the knockout again. You see Elmer takes a little bit here, a little bit there on damage, and then heals it off or puts a growing energy on that crustle, and it just chills there. Like no way to boss anything out or anything. It's just that crustle, and it's just sitting there and eating all the damage. Yeah, this is the whole thing. One situation I wanted to show is this one. I think like he's just throwing that one, and I don't know if he's just a little bit fed up with that, because it's so frustrating if you're playing against a deck like this and you don't have it can be so agonizing. Like seriously, it can be so agonizing. You're just sitting there and nothing happens. Like you can do nothing. You just sit there, wait, and actually do nothing. So yeah, and now we see even more here. Elmer even put the rocky energy on the crustle, which makes it now a total of 8 energies here. I guess just in case anything like an E-hammer or something comes down. And yeah, I guess Todd just wants to figure out what to do, but there's nothing. I'm really hoping that Todd is not getting like oh, look at this hand. Look at this hand. 3 Dragapults and 3 Boss's Order. Completely useless hand. No, I just hope that Todd after that one doesn't embrace the dark art, because I think if Todd starts to play control because of that, we are all cooked. We are cooked. We are so cooked, because this could be oof. Oh yeah, and this was also funny. Like I saw that he sees the deck list and the cross, and he's just like, oh my gosh. that will be funny. And let's check out the price cuts. I think 2 buddy Poffins could be annoying, but I think Todd is still in his mind thinking like, what can he do? What is the plan to go? So yeah, and another interesting inclusion here is the Mega Kangaskhan, probably just to draw more cards. And still 1 buddy Poffin here in hand. Let's skip ahead again a good piece of time. Let's see. So you can see Todd has his Fesp actually charged, and now we see the Latias for the free retreat and targeting that Dwebble, that pesky little Dwebble. Only problem here right now is the moment that Crustle comes to play, it is charged. Now we see the Mega Kangaskhan, we see the growing energy, and this goes straight to it, boosting the HP to with 20 HP more. And now we see actually Todd going for the biggest knockout here. Already has 1 prize card and swinging in that Kangaskhan here. But now we see the same problem. We only have one Crustle now. We have few charged Dracloaks and a Dragapult here. Can be also nasty. Now we have a Crustle with, what is that, 7 energies and a total of 330 HP. So let me see, I think there are 3 or even all 4 growing energies and that Hero's Cape and also that those spiky energies. And another jump ahead here, we see Elmer took some prize cards. There is nothing else to do for Todd. The Dracloaks, they got all knocked out here, leaving Todd in a very bad place, to be honest. So yeah, passing. Another energy attachment. Now we are up to 5 energies. Grass energies, 4 of them are special. Then we have the 2 spiky energies. We have 1 mist energy. We have 1 rocky and still that Hero's Cape, which makes it probably unbreakable. Oh yeah, I see Todd even had a unfair stamp, but I think if you establish your board like this, what can you do? And there's the scoop. Todd doesn't have it, has to concede here against Crustle. Yeah, Elmer takes the win, and then we will see Elmer later in the next video again.
Another day, another video done. Okay, we are going soon to the finals. I think I get my rhythm into this more and more. It's getting better, I hope. And I hope for feedback of you if you make it that far. And I think they will come out faster and faster because I can feel how things progress in all of that. So yeah, after we had that very grindy match, now we had the even grindier match with Elmer and his Crustle. And since Elmer has won, we will see Elmer again. Let's see how far Elmer will take it. And yeah, like and subscribe and see you next time. Peace.